This is one of those stories I was researching and I just kept asking myself the question, why? Why would you ever do this? But as you can tell by the title of today's video, this is quite the interesting story. And it all starts in a small town in Michigan, where in early 2021, a mother by the name of Kendra Licari started sending hateful and bullying messages to teenage students, including her own daughter. And she did this using a fake name and fake phone number, and even using VPNs and burner numbers to hide her identity. My first question to all of this, though, is what is going on in your life where you feel the need that you need to bully, especially cyberbully your own daughter anonymously? Why? But it gets so much deeper, because apparently she was a high school basketball coach at the school she was bullying the kids and her daughter at. She was also apparently helping her daughter get through the bullying that she was doing. What? And even helping parents track down this anonymous bully, literally playing 3D chess against herself. This could also be one of those weird strategies that you see like the psychopaths in TV series and movies who are doing this to lead people in the wrong way on purpose. By doing this, she might have been feeling like she was in more control. Who knows though? Then finally, I mean, the icing of the cake was her trying to frame another innocent kid at the school that her daughter went to for doing all the stuff that she did. I don't know, man. There's just something hilariously sad about a woman in her 40s trying to pin a poor random teenager with her dumbass actions. And the police got involved, which led investigators onto a 1-year search trying to find this anonymous bully. But what makes this even more insane is, according to the Law and Crime Network, it was the mother herself who got in contact with the police. Why? Did she think she was bulletproof? Like, what? Oh, so the mother, in a way, just self-snitched on herself, but without saying that she was behind it, she just brought attention to her own crimes? What?
Authorities say Kendra Gail Licari sent her own daughter mean, harassing, and hateful messages through text and social media. Police say she sent the anonymous messages to both her daughter and her daughter's then boyfriend. When her daughter came to her for help, Licari allegedly told the police about the harassment, but tried to make it seem like it was coming from her daughter's peers.
Like, was she just bored and needed more action in her life? Is this what you do when you live in a small town in Michigan? Clearly, it's not the norm, because this is the first time I've ever heard of anything like this. But becoming your daughter's cyberbully is definitely an interesting hobby. It's a beyond messed up one, but definitely unique. I really want to understand her actions, but I don't think we really can. I guess we just kind of have to chalk it up to people really act stupid quite a bit. But this is beyond detrimental to the family. Like, sure, she's going to get out of prison, but even when she gets out of prison, is her daughter going to trust her? I don't know about that one. I don't even know how you would go about navigating that situation as the daughter. Like, the person who's supposed to be your ultimate rock, especially in that stage of life, turned into the person who is anonymously tearing you down. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some therapy needed after that one. But moving on the timeline, come early April, the mother pleaded guilty. And in exchange for the plea, the prosecutor dropped 3 additional charges, which were 2 counts of using a computer to communicate with another to commit a crime, and 1 count of obstruction. And they confirm it here again that the police got involved only because the mother who did the cyberbullying got in contact with officials with other parents. What a moron in 2 different ways. The fact that she did it in the first place, and the fact that she was, I guess, arrogant enough to bring her own crimes to the officials, but just leave out the small detail that she was actually the one behind all the cyberbullying. Oh man. But what she must have said in these cyberbullying messages must have been pretty extreme, because the judge reacted in a pretty harsh manner to this. Because the judge said, because of the nature and content of the messages Licari sent, that's the mother, and the harm that was caused by the victims, Duthie, who is the judge, said it wasn't a single lapse of judgment, but a well thought out scheme that at one point involved Licari trying to convince law enforcement that the messages were sent by one of the victims. So it wasn't a random teenager she was trying to pin it on. She was trying to pin it on one of her teenage victims. What? What is wrong with you? I want to make it like as clear as possible. I am laughing at how ridiculous this case is, because like the woman's actions, as in the mother's actions, are so laughably stupid, it becomes comical. I feel so bad for the random teenagers who are just living their normal lives, and then they have to be cyberbullied by a random mother who's incredibly bored. What an absolute nightmare. But continuing, the judge said, I can't think of anything worse than being falsely accused. It's beyond the pale. You've earned a prison sentence. The judge also commended Licari for entering a plea agreement so the victims wouldn't have to go through a trial, but also noted that if convicted by a jury free on the original charges, she would have to serve her sentences consecutively rather than at the same time. The judge also spoke about the harm Licari caused about not only the victims, but Beale City schools and the community. Neither the judge nor Barberi aired the contents of the messages in court. Duthie said the contents included obnoxious doctored photographs and hate. Ayo, so she was photoshopping stuff to bully her own kid with? This story just keeps getting worse. How? I thought the story was worse just by reading the headline. How can you be this sick and twisted as a mother? Well, I mean, I guess there are people who are way worse. They're on the shows like Dateline and stuff like that. But as far as non-physical goes, this is pretty bad. But because of her guilty plea, they didn't go through all the evidence in court, so we don't really fully know what exactly was said and done. But it sounds absolutely insane to get a prison sentence like this. And it's just baffling how evil and stupid this mother is. But the judge does start grilling her by saying, I can't imagine any parent saying such horrible things to her own daughter. Barberi also weighed in. I'm pretty sure that Barberi is the prosecutor in all this, telling Duthie that a parent's job is to care and nurture their child, and Licari had failed at that and used her education and background to try to frame a minor for the crime. It's hard saying that seriously because of how ridiculous these actions are. They are so laughably stupid. But I mean, also, like, if you are dumb enough and sick enough to bully minors as a 40-year-old woman, you deserve to be bullied for your own stupid actions. I mean, really, if you are that bored and just want to harass random people, join a homeowners association board. Start doing rounds about your neighborhoods and then pointing out every single time someone did not bring in their trash cans at the right time. Because at least what you're doing there is legal, even though you're still a scumbag. But what happened at the end of things? How much prison time did she get? She was sentenced a little bit over a month ago, which is actually surprising to me because I didn't hear about this story until just now.
Kendra Licari, an Isabella County mother, has been sentenced to prison for sending hundreds of cruel text messages to her daughter and a boy she was seeing. In a packed courtroom, emotional testimony from both the victims and Licari herself. According to the prosecutor, for months in 2021, Licari sent hundreds of harassing text messages to her daughter and the boy she was seeing. When law enforcement officials got involved, they say Licari was working with the other teen's mom to find out who had been sending the messages. Prosecutors say she even went as far as framing another teen who went to the school with her daughter.
It's just so laughably stupid. How do you ruin your own life in the process of trying to ruin your own daughter's life? There's no upside here. What was she thinking?
Licari was remorseful as she spoke before sentencing.
I never want to hurt anyone else like I have already done. I actually look forward to continuing my work and continuing my progress daily. I have caused a lot of damage to my family.
Licari was sentenced 19 months to 5 years behind bars after pleading guilty to 2 counts of stalking a minor. The judge said she is allowed to have contact with her daughter, saying it's up to the family on how they want to go about moving forward.
19 months to 5 years? Why is the gap so large? Is that based on her behavior? How do they get such a wide range there? But either way, if there's a takeaway, don't cyberbully your own children anonymously because clearly you'll get prison time for that. How about instead of doing that, love them endlessly, mentor them, and spend lots of time with them? That sounds like a way better use case of the time. Because speaking of the time, I mean, you only get such a limited amount of time with your child. Why would you spend that limited amount of like the best time ever in a destructive manner like that? It's only messed up. I just feel so bad for the daughter and the random victims in this case that she was trying to blame it on. It's so stupid and sad. But other than that, YouTube thinks that you're going to like this video of mine, so I would recommend checking that out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.